Hello! Today's chat about what the heck is about indoor training. So, one of my subscribers actually asked me to do a video about indoor training. How to set it up, what is it all about? Where do I begin? I can tell you of my 5+ years of cycling, indoor training plays a significant part of cycling. It's not just going out and cycle. Wait, it is all about going out and cycle. What am I talking about? Yes, cycling is about going out, cycling with your bunch of friends, but we can't do it now. Anyway, even if you can do it, indoor cycling is still a big part of the cycling culture. Why do I say that? Well, if you want to do 100 km, 200 km, 300 km, or you want to do sprints, or you want to climb faster, or you want to join group rides, if you do not do a midweek training, it is very hard for you to join group rides. Okay, give you an example. Even the most santai ride that I know, which is the OCI Teh Tarik ride, which they used to organize it on a monthly basis. Hopefully after the lockdown we can do it again, which I always enjoy, right? Because I always see new friends. But even doing those rides that santai is 70 km, if without proper training, you are gonna suffer, you are gonna be slow, you're gonna get cramps and this and that. How do you prevent all those cramp and all those painful stuff of cycling? Is indoor training. So how do you do indoor training? Well, how do I do indoor training? I can't tell you how to do it, but I will tell you how I'll do it. But before I tell you how I do it, let me explain to you what is indoor training all about and how much it's going to cost you. Okay? So basically, indoor training is about cycling indoor, but some people do it outdoor as long as within the house or whatever, but you know what I mean. So basically, where do you begin with indoor training? Well, it always starts with this. Whenever people ask me, how do I begin? I always ask you this, what is your budget? Because indoor training is affordable all the way to, whoa, very luxurious. And once you know your budget, then the second question is, what do you want to achieve? Are you just trying to achieve fitness, or you want to really improve your cycling? Okay, so in that perspective of that question, let's go to the most basic one, which is first, you just want to maintain your fitness, right? You really don't want to improve your FTP, you don't want to go all out, you don't want to always pecah your record, you don't want to be PR and this and that. You just want to maintain fitness, you just want to exercise, you want to relax, and on the weekend you just want to enjoy a 50 km ride. You just want to have a midweek exercise without going out of the house. So indoor training, you can do that, and it's not expensive. You're doing just fitness, right? Probably all you need a budget of around 700 ringgit. Okay, these are the things you need. One, you definitely need cadence sensor, speed sensor, and heart rate monitor. These are the 3 basic tools you need for your body. You still need a bike computer, which helps a lot, because with the bike computer, as you do your indoor training, you can still see your heart rate, right? And the bike computer will calculate your calories based on your heart rate and based on your distance. So that one you need the speed sensor. Okay? And why do you need cadence? Well, cadence is good for you to do a training, right? So that at least you know you're cycling, you need to keep at least in 80 RPM. Most people who start cycling, it's very difficult for them to sustain 80 RPM. To be honest, when I started cycling, my cadence was about 70 to 75. I always struggled at 80. So I train. Now I can do 80 easily. 80, 85 is quite okay with me, right? Why is cadence important? It's because when you're cycling and your cadence is low, high chances are you're putting a lot of effort into your pedal strokes. And when you're putting a lot of effort into your pedal stroke, means you're using a lot of muscle power. When you're using a lot of muscle power, hence the tendency of getting cramped is very high, right? When your cadence is high, you're using less energy for your pedal stroke, but your heart rate will go up. But heart rate always recovers faster than your muscle fatigue. So that's why cadence is very important, and it's good to sustain between 80 and 90. Some people do 90 as their comfort zone. Mine is around 85 right now. So now you have all the basic tools of heart rate, cadence, speed, and a basic bike computer. The next most important thing for indoor training is the indoor equipment, which is you have 2 options, indoor roller or on-wheel trainer. Right? A dumb turbo trainer, they call it on-wheel trainer because you still need to use your wheel. Basically, it's just a simple trainer where you put your bike on it, lock it, and the wheel will turn, the flywheel. What is a flywheel? Flywheel creates a kinetic stored energy, rotational kinetic energy, which keeps the wheel turning even though you're pedaling. So that keeps you feel like you're cycling on the road lah. So let's talk about the on-wheel trainer. On-wheel trainer starts around 300 ringgit from your cheap China brand to even Decathlon at about 399, all the way to Tag Blue Metal, Tag something. I can't remember. I'll just show you the picture. I forgot the name. That's about 600 over ringgit, all the way to Minora. That's about 1,000 ringgit. You know, even smart trainers, all the way to 3,000 ringgit from Wahoo Snap. Also is a fixed wheel one. But let's go back to budget, right? So once you have all your sensors, heart rate, cadence, and speed sensor, cost you about 300 ringgit, between 300 to 500 ringgit, depending on the brand that you get. Then your bike computer, if you get a Cat Eye one, this is about 100 over ringgit. That's 400 ringgit right there. And then you get your 300 ringgit cheap trainer, that's 700 ringgit. That's all you need. 700 ringgit to start indoor training. One more tip. Once you get a on-wheel trainer, it's good to get a indoor specific trainer wheel, which Tag has it. It's about 159 ringgit. That one's pretty good. Why is good? Because first is when you have on-wheel turning the flywheel, you actually degrade your tires on the bike. So if you have a nice expensive bike tire you don't want to degrade so fast, use an indoor trainer tire, specific tire, because a few benefits. It lasts longer and it's much quieter, because those tires are built for indoor contact of the indoor flywheel. Okay, so that's the most basic one. Now let's talk about keeping on a budget, but you want to improve. How do you improve in cycling by indoor training? So there's few ways. One of the ways, and the most fun way right now, is Zwift. Everybody's doing Zwift. Why? It's a game. Everybody likes to play a game. You know, in Zwift you can win medals, you can join races, you can organize group rides. Zwift is absolutely fun. But it costs about 60 ringgit a month. It's a subscription basis, right? Or you can also use what they call it, the trainer road. Or like me, I keep it on the budget. I use a Wahoo. With my Wahoo, I have the training exercise that I can do that's built in the Wahoo, right? It tells you, it gives you some activities that you can do, some training activities. So 3 options or 4, there's a few options anyway. So let's go to the most budget option that you want to do with Zwift or Trainer Road or just using the Wahoo, which is, so let's go towards Zwift and Trainer Road, okay? You need a power meter. Power meter is key for training. If you don't have a power meter, it's going to be very difficult for you to train, because you know why? When you're outdoor cycling, just looking at heart rate and looking at speed does not really resembles your effort going into cycling, because a lot of factors in uphill, downhill, road condition, and wind resistance. All those determine the effort you're going through. So the only way to really determine how much effort you're going through in cycling is with a power meter. Power meter is how much watts or how much energy or how much pressure your leg is putting into the pedal. Doing the dance right now. So, the power meter determines the amount of effort that your pedal is going into the pedal stroke, and it calculates your kilojoule. Okay, and my brother Philip told me once, calories is inaccurate calculation of energy use. Kilojoule is definitely a more accurate calculation of energy use, and you need a power meter for that. So, talk about power meter. Okay, on the budget side, if you want to do Zwift, you want to do Trainer Road, now you have a 700 ringgit worth of equipment plus a dumb trainer, on-wheel trainer. Once you add in a power meter costs you around $1,000 to $1,700. Okay, so altogether it's going to cost you about 1,700 ringgit plus, let's say 2,000 ringgit for a power meter, a dumb trainer, and all the other computers, the simple computer and the sensors and all, right? And all you need is just your smartphone. I'm not going to add the price into the smartphone because everybody has a smartphone. Okay, if you don't have a smartphone, where have you been? So this is the most budget way of enjoying Zwift or indoor training. Okay, it costs you about 2,000 plus, right? Talk about power meter, ranges between 1,000 ringgit to 3,000 ringgit to 4,000 ringgit. The power meter I'm using cost me about 4,000 ringgit. It's a Quark power meter. It's built into the crank chainring, but I would recommend this. A few power meters pretty good. Single arm stages. I've used a single arm stages power meter before. They're pretty good. It cost me about 1,000 over 1,500, around that, 1,008. And I also used I bought the Asioma, but I didn't get to use it. Asioma is a pedal-based power meter that costs you about 2,000 over ringgit, right? So those are power meters, and once you get power meters, your cycling will change totally. Why? Because you will be able to do FTP tests. Once you know your FTP, you know how much effort you can sustain within an hour. So for example, my FTP is 247 watts, right? So that means that my pressure that I can put onto the pedal for 247 watts, I can probably do that for an hour before I punch it, conk out, bong, can't even move anymore. That's my maximum effort, right? So since I know my effort is 247 watts, if I'm going to do a 1 hour climb, I just need to pace myself. I'll just do 80% of my 247, let's say 200 watts, right? So I know if I'm doing 200 watts for a 1 hour climb, it should be a very comfortable climb for me. So that's why power meter, this is how it helps me on training and how it helps me on rides, especially if you're doing long rides like 200 km, 100 km. You know, just do 80%, 70% of effort, you know you'll survive in that ride. So power meter is how I train. Okay, the pro and cons. Okay, let's talk about pro and cons between a dumb trainer. Dumb trainer, the pro is cheap, affordable, and it gets things done. Don't get it wrong, okay? I've done indoor roller for 6 months and I improved a lot. Indoor roller cost me about 600 ringgit. I improved a lot. But it's also, you have to be disciplined, right? Indoor trainer also you have to balance. And after that, I've done indoor turbo trainer. I've used a dumb trainer for about a year and I also improved. Because it's not the equipment that you have, it's not the budget that you have, it's the amount of effort and discipline that you put in. It's all about training, you guys. You have to put in the effort. Jangan malas, don't be lazy, you just have to do it, right? Like, even though it's lockdown, I've been doing 2 indoor rides a week and also Sunday, so it's 3 indoor rides a week. So I still keep to my training. Okay, so those are the budget ones. So let's talk about something more mahal, more expensive, which is the money no restriction for you, and you want to really invest into a very good trainer. So this is where you go into the trainer itself. That's going to cost you 3,000 and beyond. 3,000 ringgit and beyond trainers. Literally, you can get starts from 3,000 all the way to the most luxurious, the dream of all indoor trainer, which is the Wahoo Kicker bike, which costs about 17,000 ringgit, 16,999, right? All Wahoo products is distributed by SBS Asia. So you can get it at Giant SS2. My brother Philip, he'll hook you up. And also, my personal favorite I'm using right now is Elite Suito. Why I'm using Elite Suito? Because it's the more budget-friendly one lah. So I'm currently using an Elite Suito, which only cost me about 3,100 ringgit. I bought it second-hand, by the way. But One Cycling Industry has stock for Elite Suito. And also, if you want something more, of course, more advanced and more changgeh, you can go check out Giant SS2, you can go get those Wahoo products. Wahoo has really good products as well. But I'm on the budget, so I got myself an Elite Suito at 3,000 ringgit, 3,001 lah. So the Elite Suito is amazing in the sense that for that budget, I bought it second hand. That guy used it for about 3 months. He sold it to me for 2,004 a couple of years back, and it's still working right now. Basically, smart trainers like this, they're quite solid, they're indestructible. I think easily 2-3 years, no problem, right? Anything spoiled could be mainly the belt, and the belt drive is only going to cost you about a few $100. You can change it with the local distributor lah, right? So, one thing good about Elite Suito or any other smart trainers you have is high possibility it already comes with a power meter, and also it potentially comes with a cadence meter as well. It can automatically calculate your cadence as well, so you don't need a cadence meter. But what kind of cyclist who buy a smart trainer wouldn't buy a power meter and a cadence sensor anyway? Cool. So anyway, it's good to so you understand that right now, once you have a turbo trainer, right? Right now I'm using an Elite Suito, right? I basically just connect it to my computer or my Mac or whatever, N Plus and all those stuff, and it just connects and I can just play Zwift and train road. Oh, by the way, if you're going to use your computer to do training or to play Zwift, you need this. This is an N Plus sensor, right? So connect this to your computer and this will be able to read your sensors, your heart sensor. If your heart sensor, cadence sensor, and speed sensor, and all the other sensor, sumo sensor doesn't have Bluetooth, then you need an N Plus sensor. Right now on the smart trainer, the difference is this, between a smart trainer and a dumb trainer that's smaller and a fixed wheel one, right? So the off-wheel trainers, the biggest difference is the flywheel, okay? The flywheel is huge, around this size. The difference between a dumb trainer, the flywheel is this size, smaller rotational stored energy, so it slows down pretty fast, right? But the big one rotates longer. So if I'm cycling on the smart trainer with a bigger flywheel, when I stop pedal, it still spins a bit. So when I continue pedal, it's very easy for me to maintain my effort. So it definitely gives a more realistic feeling like you're cycling outdoor, okay? And one thing best about smart trainer is automatic control on resistance, right? A manual trainer obviously is manual resistance. So every time you need to turn the knob to adjust the resistance. But on the smart trainer, it adjusts by itself. So if you're playing Zwift, when you're hitting those 10% climbs, the trainer will automatically lock down and you can feel the pressure, the pain in climbing. It is so real. And how real is Zwift, by the way? It's pretty real. Because for example, my 10 km climb will take me about half an hour, which is pretty realistic to my climb to Perez. It sure takes me about half an hour, which Perez is about 9-10 km. So Zwift is quite realistic in terms of the timing and effort required, and you should really sweat it out, okay? So smart trainer, one of the cool things is it just has this auto resistance and the huge flywheel, which is very, very convenient. And also, you don't degrade your wheel because you take off your wheel and you just have to put your bike onto it, and you just have to buy extra cassette. Okay, so the difference between on-wheel and off-wheel trainer is on-wheel, there's nothing else you need. You just need to fix your bike in. Off-wheel, you need to have additional cassette, an extra cassette to put it into the trainer so that you can mount your bike on it. That's about it. I've explained about trainers. Now the next thing is, what happens if your bike is a disc bike? Because all these trainers are compatible with clincher brake frames. But if you're using a disc brake bike, which is most of it are right now, there are a few things you need to consider. For example, if you're using an on-wheel trainer, you need to get an adapter. And I know Minora sells an adapter. Yeah, they do sell a 12mm True XL adapter to fit it into your disc brake bike so that you can attach it to your fixed wheel trainer. Okay, so you can still use it. I'll put the description below where you can buy it. I found it in Shopee. But then, if you are using a smart trainer, the high chances is already compatible with clincher. High chances already comes with an adapter for you to fix your True XL. Double check with your reseller. Okay, my Elite Sueto already comes with a True XL adapter. So last time when I was using clincher, when I got my disc bike, I just take out the adapter and switch it to the True XL adapter, and it works perfectly. That is on the disc brake bike and the frame bike. Now, the second thing you need to take note is this. If you're using a 12-speed, okay? So if you're using a 12-speed, for example, a SRAM or a Campinolo, you have to take note, especially on the smart trainer that's off-wheel one, you need to get a free hub, 12-speed free hub, and just switch the free hub. That costs about 200 over ringgit, 250 ringgit plus, right? So you need to bring it to the shop to do it. They have to open up the freewheel and put on the 12-speed, from 11-speed to 12-speed. So then, if you're using 12-speed, that works. So when I had my Elite Sueto, I also had to buy the free hub and also additional 12-speed cassette. All in all, a smart trainer will cost me about 3,000 ringgit plus all the other sensors. So if you think about it, should you buy a dumb trainer with a power meter which will cost you about 2,000 over ringgit, or should you just buy a smart trainer? I'll just go for Elite Sueto or any smart trainer that costs about 3,000 ringgit, to be honest. To be really perfectly honest with you. Because they last forever and they don't degrade your wheel. That's my point of view. Okay, now general things you need to get. When you have an indoor trainer, these are a few tips that you need to know. Number one, you will sweat a lot. Because you're stationary, you're on your fan or aircon, you will still sweat a lot because the effort is a lot. It's good gym effort, good gym exercise, right? You definitely need a floor mat on the floor so that your sweat hits the floor. That's number one. If you're doing any trainer, it's good to get those big rubber mats, those gym workout rubber mats, or those indoor cycling specific rubber mats, because you know why? The mat will reduce the sound or the vibration of the trainer. So it dampens the sound, that's number one. And number two, it also, your sweat can hit it and you just wipe it off. Easy peasy, right? Then, you also need a towel, or my personal favorite, I put my old t-shirt onto my trainer, onto my bike. Because you're gonna sweat a lot, you're gonna sweat all over your frame, and with a t-shirt or a towel, you will protect the frame. So what's the other thing you need? Okay, the other thing you need to take note, not need, take note is this. Okay, you definitely need to wear your bib. Denise, I know you posted on Instagram, you did not wear your bib, right, when you did your indoor trainer. That's the hell, right? Because indoor trainer, your bike is stationary, it's not moving. There's a lot of effort and there's a lot of body movement and a lot of pressure between your backside and the saddle. You definitely need to wear a proper bib to do indoor training, okay? And also a tip that most people don't tell you, I'm going to tell you right now is this. You're going to sweat a lot. Your sweat is going to hit the frame a bit, and your sweat is going to hit your water bottle cage screw. If you do not, on a monthly basis, or at least once in 2 months, maintain your water bottle cage screw, there's a high possibility of it being locked, rusted, and you cannot open the screw. And when that happens, you need to bring to a professional bike shop for them to open it and for them to replace the screw bolt into your frame. And that's going to cost you a lot, about 150 to 200 bucks. Not worth it. How do you prevent it? Easy peasy. Every other month or every 1 month at least, after doing your indoor training or whatever, good to always open the bottle cage screw, take it out, grease it and put it back in. Take it out, do a monthly maintenance, once in 2 months maintenance on your water bottle cage screw. So that's it, you guys. That's all I can tell you about indoor training and all I can think of right now. I hope this helps. I am by all no means a professional coach. I am by all no means a very technical person, but I do have some experience in cycling, and this is my point of view of what is the heck on indoor training. So take care, you guys. Stay safe, stay at home, do as much indoor training as possible. If any of you are looking to get any indoor trainers from Wahoo or Elite, I know that Giant SS2 has stock, description down there, and also One Cycling Industry has stock. Go check them out. They have stock for Elite as well. So go check them out, go support them. When you support them, you support me. And it helps me a lot as well. Take care, you guys. God bless and be safe.